As a tribute stand on their podiums, the sound.
What the heck?
I know, right?
Impossible.
Sadako runs away. Spooky finds Captain Phasma, but Captain Phasma kills her. Mr. Krabs takes a handful of throwing knives. Steve Jobs grabs fishing bait while Morbius gets fishing gear. Futuro finds a bag full of explosives. Zaphod, Beetlebrox, and Bomber Monokuma run away. Colonel Sanders finds a backpack. Detective Chimp runs away. Kang the Conqueror runs away. Reiner Braun severely slices Poison Ivy with a sword. Bioshock Firewoman strangles every Robin ever after engaging in a fistfight. Good job.
What?
They discovered fire. She
I
killed
mean, she
every
is
Robin ever.
insane.
Yeah. I don't know if she
Piss
could
me
do that
off, little
though,
boy. Why is there more of you?
but yeah. That would be what happens. Declan got some size. Voldemort runs away. Unicron grabs a backpack. Commander Shepard grabs a backpack. Makoto runs away. The Dredge runs away. Rattlesnake Jake finds a canteen full of water. Neatho grabs a shovel. Steve Jobs and Makoto split up to search for resources. Captain Phasma explores arena. Futuro explores arena. Morbius is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Colonel Sanders, Zaphod Beetlebrox, Bioshock Firewoman, and Mr. Krabs hunt together.
Oh,
Neathhogue,
you
Reiner
actually put
Braun.
Mr. Crab.
Yeah. Voldemort, Rattlesnake Jake, and King the Conqueror hunt together. It was just so funny, I couldn't not add it. Unicron injures himself. The Dredge sees smoke rising in the distance but doesn't investigate. Commander Shepard sprains his ankle running away from Bomber Monokuma. Detective Chimp scares off Declan. Sadako collects fruit from a tree. Sadako receives clean water. Unicron is unable to start a fire. Steve Jobs sets up camp for the night. Rattlesnake Jake cries to sleep. King the Conqueror quietly hums. Detective Chimp sees a fire but stays hidden. Declan receives clean water. Bioshock Firewoman passes out from exhaustion. Voldemort begs for Colonel Sanders to kill him, but he refuses. Futuro sets up camp for the night. The Dredge lets Mr. Krabs into his shelter. Morbius lets Captain Phasma into his shelter. Zaphod Beetlebrox sets up camp for the night. Bomber Monokuma sets off an explosive, killing Makoto. Commander Shepard loses sight of where he is. Reiner Braun begs her Neathogue to kill him, but she refuses. Futuro receives clean water from 5 women. Steve Jobs practices his archery. Zaphod Beetlebrox diverts Bomber Monokuma's attention and runs away. Commander Shepard discovers a river. Bioshock Firewoman steals from the Dredge while he isn't looking. Morbius makes a wooden spear. Neathogue tries to sweep through the entire day. Declan questions his sanity. King the Conqueror runs away from Detective Chimp. Captain Phasma scares off Rattlesnake Jake. Voldemort, Sadako, and Unicron hunt for other tributes. Mr. Krabs defeats Colonel Sanders but spares his life. Reiner Braun sees smoke rising but doesn't investigate. Voldemort thinks about home. Unicron sings a song. The Dredge lets Reiner Braun into his shelter. Mr. Krabs cooks food. Steve Jobs, Declan, Kang the Conqueror, Rattlesnake Jake, and Neathogue sleep in shifts. Bomber Monokuma taints Commander Shepard's food, killing him. Morbius is unable to start a fire. Colonel Sanders, Zaphod Beetlebrox, Bioshock Firewoman, and Detective Chimp track down and kill Captain Phasma. Futuro and Sadako talk about should be still alive. Rattlesnake Jake gets fruit. Neathogue receives a hatchet. Reiner Braun makes a wooden spear. Zaphod Beetlebrox is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Detective Chimp injures himself. Steve Jobs, King the Conqueror, Sadako, and Declan hunt together. Mr. Krabs makes a wooden spear. Bioshock Firewoman, Voldemort, Unicron, and the Dredge raid Morbius's camp. Futuro diverts Bomber Monokuma's attention and runs away. Colonel Sanders tries to spearfish with a trident. Mr. Krabs looks at the night sky. Steve Jobs sets up camp for the night. Declan,
Fierce
Futuro,
fish.
yeah, the Dredge, Rattlesnake Jake, and King the Conqueror sweep in shifts. Unicron and Sadako hold hands. Zaphod Beetlebrox can't start a fire. Ouchie. Voldemort and Detective Chimp tell each other stories. Morbius loses sight of where he is.
Voldemort?
Yeah, Voldemort and Detective Chimp.
My man.
Honestly. Reiner Braun, Bioshock Firewoman, Neathogue, and Bomber Monokuma sweep in shifts. Colonel Sanders is going insane. Unicron runs away from Steve Jobs. Mr. Krabs, the Dredge, and Declan get into a fight. Declan kills them both. Bioshock Firewoman runs away from Sadako. Neathogue goes hunting. Bomber Monokuma explores arena. Reiner camouflages in the bushes. Morbius discovers a cave. Detective Chimp makes a spear. Futuro practices archery. Voldemort attacks Kang, but he escapes. Zaphod, Beetlebrox, and Rattlesnake Jake split up to search for resources. Colonel Sanders receives a bomb. Sadako defeats Rattlesnake Jake but spares his life. Unicron lets Bioshock Firewoman into his shelter. King the Conqueror dies from an infection. Morbius is unable to start a fire. Bomber Monokuma receives an explosive. Voldemort defeats Declan but spares his life. Sapphire Beetlebrox receives clean water. Reiner Braun sucks at starting fires. Colonel Sanders thinks about home. Neathog kills Detective Chimp with a hatchet. Futaro dies of thirst even after getting water. And Steve Jobs receives a hatchet.
Finds water, dies of thirst. That's awesome.
Yep. Pretty much. Bioshock Firewoman severely injures Sapphire Beetlebrox and leaves him to die. Bomber Monokuma eats toxic berries. Unicron throws a knife into Declan's head. Morbius, Voldemort, Colonel Sanders, and Steve Jobs raid Neathog's camp while she's hunting. Reiner Braun searches for firewood. Sadako and Rattlesnake Jake split up to search for resources.
Who's Steve Jobs?
He's the guy who made Microsoft.
He made Apple.
Yeah. Voldemort sets up camp for the night. Steve Jobs sees a fire but stays hidden. Bioshock Firewoman taints Unicron's food, killing him. She just killed the frickin' planet eater. That's cool. Wait, she tainted a planet. That's awesome.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What?
Because Unicron is a planet eater. And it says Bioshock Firewoman taints Unicron's food. She poisoned an entire planet.
Pollution.
Yeah, I guess so.
She's been killing.
I know. Yeah, she's
spree, right?
Yeah, she's killed a lot of people.
I mean, it makes sense because of.
Because she discovered fire. Yeah. Sadako receives clean water. If she dies of thirst, that's a rip. Reiner Braun sees a fire, but stays hidden. Rattlesnake Jake starts a fire. Okay, well, that's that. Morbius defeats Colonel Sanders but spares his life, and Neathog also starts a fire. Cornucopias are replenished with stuff. Bioshock Firewoman does not go to the feast. Sadako and Reiner Braun get into a fight over raw meat, but Reiner gives up. Colonel Sanders severely injures Steve Jobs and puts him out of his misery. Neathog, Rattlesnake Jake, and Voldemort track down and kill Morbius. Sadako explores the arena. Voldemort makes a swing shot. Neathog overhears Rattlesnake Jake talking to Bioshock Firewoman in the distance. Reiner tries to sleep through the entire day. Colonel Sanders hunts for other tributes. Neathog and Colonel Sanders sweep in shifts. Sadako, Rattlesnake Jake, Bioshock Firewoman, and Voldemort tell each other ghost stories. Reiner loses sight of where he is. Bioshock Firewoman goes fishing. Reiner Braun dies trying to escape the arena. Sadako shoots an arrow at Rattlesnake Jake but misses and kills Voldemort. Neathog questions her sanity. Colonel Sanders accidentally steps on a landmine. Rattlesnake Jake sees a fire but stays hidden.
What the hell?
What the hell?
No, I heard him join.
I didn't hear him join.
But I'm just turned around and see it, and it's just like, where you just come unannounced, uninvited. You're no good, vampire.
Demand to know Declan's location.
Where's Declan?
Come to my house,
Declan?
uninvited.
What is
Take the meat from my boar. Call me the asshole.
The amount of times Lucas has come into my house and told me to get out is once.
Yeah, that's true. Sadako climbs a tree to rest. A Bioshock Firewoman falls into a frozen lake and drowns. Neathog attempts to climb a tree but falls to her death.
What?
Yep. Sadako spears
Power
Rattlesnake
doesn't work
Jake in the
underwater, I
abdomen.
guess.
Sadako wins.